Hello and welcome to Preppy, where we revolutionize how you prepare for IELTS. So today we'll begin with the Task Achievement Enhancer series. So what is this series all about? If you remember, there are 4 parameters on which the IELTS examiner assesses you on. And the very first parameter is task achievement. So in this series, we'll help you enhance your task achievement. And how do we do that? We'll take the 3 types of letters which are formal, informal and semi-formal, and through these letters we'll help you understand what you need to do to score good bands in this particular parameter, which is task achievement. So let's take a recap of what task achievement is and then understand it through the first letter, which is informal. Before taking you to the first example, let's take a recap of what we studied in the first lecture. So, when you are being assessed on task achievement, which is particularly in case of a letter, and as you might remember, it has a weightage of 25%. So now you need to understand that while you're being assessed on task achievement, the IELTS examiner is looking at basically these 4 things in your answer. So first of all, you need to be clear on the reason of writing the letter. So whatever letter asks you to write about, you need to be clear on that. Why are you particularly writing the letter? Number 2, addressing all bullet points. As you might remember, in any letter, you have a question. You have one bullet point, you have the second bullet point, and then you have the third bullet point. So you have to make sure that you address each and every bullet point. Whatever that particular bullet point is asking you, you need to address to that particular task. So basically there are 3 tasks, and when you achieve each one of them, you basically score good on task achievement, right? Next is use of accurate tone. So there are 3 kinds of letters: formal, informal and semi-formal. The tone in all these 3 types of letters is different. So you need to be very careful while writing these types of letters. They should have a different tone. And finally, you are asked to write at least 150 words. Writing even one word less than 150 words is going to cause you a penalty, which is not what you need. So please be careful and write more than 150 words. But as I always say, don't write more than 200 words, because doing that would not spare you enough time to reassess your own answer and go to the next answer. Let's begin with the very first letter, which is informal in nature. So let's read out the question first. Your friend bought the tickets for the theatre for both of you. Write a letter to your friend to tell him that you cannot go to the theatre. In your letter, apologize, explain the situation, tell him what he can do with the extra ticket. Let's understand the question. So basically your friend bought the tickets for theatre for both of you. So he purchased 2 tickets for you and for himself, right? So he's done that. Now what has happened? You have to write a letter to your friend to tell him that you cannot go with him. So there's some problem, there's some issue that has come up on your way, so you won't be able to accompany him to the theatre show. So you have to write a letter to inform him about the same, right? So this is what you have to do. Then in your letter, what do you have to write? In your letter you have to write, number 1, apologize, number 2, explain the situation, and number 3, tell him what he can do with the extra ticket. So it's pretty obvious that if you can't accompany your friend to a theatre show or to a plan, then you would apologize. So the first paragraph goes to apologizing to your friend. The second paragraph goes to explaining the situation in detail. What happened? Why all of a sudden are you backing out from the plan? Number 3, tell him what he can do with the extra ticket. Now that you are not going to the play with him, to the theatre show with him, what will he do with the extra ticket? Will it go waste? Will his money go waste? Or can he do something with his extra ticket? So you need to suggest him what he can do with his extra ticket, right? So this is the situation that is given to you. This is what you have to mention in your letter. And the best part about IELTS is that you don't have to put your brain into writing the letter. They've already given you the contents of the letter. They've mentioned the 3 bullet points on which your letter should stick to, right? Your letter should stick to these 3 bullet points, which are to apologize, to explain the situation and tell him what he can do with the extra ticket. Now that you know what the question is asking you to do, just take a pause, click the pause button here, grab a sheet of paper and try attempting this letter on your own. Maybe this is the first time ever that you're writing a letter, but just do it. Just write it, try hard and attempt the letter by answering all these 3 bullet points in different paragraphs. Once you do this, come back to the video, resume it and tally your answer with my answer, right? Just do this task, pause the video right now and go attempt this question, write this letter down on a sheet of paper and come back and then see the answer. Hope you have completed your letter by now. Let's move on to see what I have written. First of all, this is an informal letter. So the salutation should be dear followed by the first name of your friend. Why do we write the first name? Since you know the name of your friend and you know your friend personally. So you should write the name of your friend when you begin the letter. So let's come back to the basics of task achievement. We need to follow certain rules here. First of all, we need to tell the reason of writing the letter and secondly, we need to fulfill and address all the bullet points. So let's do that now. The very first bullet point was to apologize. So let's do that in this particular paragraph. Hope this letter finds you in radiant health and the best of spirits. Did I address it? No, I didn't. What did I do here? I asked about the well-being of the friend. So let's think about it from this angle. When you call a friend, what do? Do you straight away start talking on the issue at hand? I guess not. You call a friend, you pick up your phone and you say, hello, how are you? Or in Punjabi you say, Hanji kidda. And in Hindi you say, Hanji kaise ho? Right? Hello kaise ho? So this is what you do. Similarly, in case of a letter, you wouldn't start by dealing with the question at hand. You would obviously start by asking about the health and well-being of your friend. So that is what we have done. Hope this letter finds you in radiant health and the best of spirits. Right? This is a formal greeting to your friend. Next is, it was generous of you to have booked theatre tickets for the both of us. So you are thanking him that he had booked tickets for the both of you. So we have conveyed that the gesture was really generous. What's next? I was looking forward to it, but unfortunately due to some last minute changes in my exam schedule, I will not be able to accompany you. Now we have asked about his or her health. Next we have thanked them for booking the tickets. Now what do? We tell them that something has gone wrong, there's some issue that I would not be able to accompany my friend, that is you, to the theatre, right? So this is what we do, but we attach a reason. So when you apologize to your friend, you straight away say, sorry, I can't come. You obviously tell them the reason for not coming. So here you will tell the reason, which is there's a sudden change in your exam schedule. Therefore, I feel apologetic. So this is where we have addressed the first bullet point, which is I feel apologetic for spoiling the plan. So you're really sorry that you are not being able to accompany your friend to the theatre show because of a sudden issue that has come up your way, which is the change in your exam schedule. So you are apologetic for not accompanying your friend. So I hope I am clear. We have addressed the very first bullet point as well as we have conveyed the reason of writing the letter. Why are we writing the letter? We are writing the letter because of some last minute changes for which have caused this apologetic situation that you cannot come to the theatre show. The first bullet point was to apologize. Right? So we've conveyed both these points through the first paragraph. I hope I'm clear. Let's move on to the next paragraph. What was the second bullet point? It was to explain the situation. We'll be catering to this particular bullet point in the next paragraph. I had my exam scheduled on 20th April, a week after the theatre show. But because of the ongoing protests by the student union, it has been preponed and now the exam date coincides with that of our outing. Hence, it is not feasible for me to attend the performance. Right? So what have we done in this paragraph? We have explained the situation, the reason behind not being able to accompany our friend and attend the show. So let's focus on it line by line. I had my exam scheduled on 20th April, a week after the theatre show. So initially you were in a position to go to the show because you had your exam 1 week after the theatre show, right? But because of the ongoing protests, so the reason is that the situation is such that some protests are happening, okay, by the student union. So it has been preponed. Now your exam, which was 1 week after the theatre show, has been preponed to the same date as that of the outing, which is your theatre show. So it coincides means it's on the same date as that of the outing. Hence, it is not feasible, it is not possible for me to attend the performance, right? So basically the situation is such that because of some protests by the student union, now you would not be able to accompany your friend because the exam has been preponed on the very same day as that of your outing. So that's about it. We have explained the situation. In this paragraph, we have addressed the second bullet point, which is explain the situation. So this is how easy it is to address each and every bullet point. Each bullet point turns out to be one paragraph and it helps you in completing your letter. So, ta-da, done. Let's move on to the final bullet point, which was to tell your friend what to do with the extra ticket. Having said that, I have confirmed with the ticketing manager that the tickets are transferable and can be utilized by anyone. So this sounds a little weird here because we have started the next paragraph, but having said that is to continue the transition from the second paragraph to the third paragraph. So if you read it in continuity, you will find that this is placed properly. So having said that, I have confirmed with the ticketing manager that the tickets are transferable. So what do you mean by transferable? It means that anybody can go instead of the other person. So there is no name on the ticket. Anybody can use it. So it's transferable from one person to the other. So the tickets are transferable and can be utilized by anyone. So anybody can go on your ticket, right? Therefore, you can take your sister along since she was keen on joining us but could not due to the non-availability of tickets. So now, what are you suggesting your friend? You're suggesting your friend that he can take his sister along with him since she was interested. She was keen on joining them. She was interested on joining them earlier but couldn't because of the non-availability or the shortage of tickets. So now you've given him the solution that he can use the extra ticket to take his sister along. So right, so we have catered to the final bullet point, which was to tell him what he can do with the extra ticket. So we are done with all the 3 bullet points. The first one, second one, and finally the third one, and also we have mentioned the reason of writing the letter. Let's move on and end the letter. Having addressed all the bullet points, let's conclude our letter. I am sorry once again for being a spoiled sport, and I promise to make up for it. So finally in the end you're apologizing once again to your friend and you're promising him that you'll make up for the missed plan and you'll plan a better outing soon. Hope you have a great time. Best wishes, and you write your own name. Okay? So this is how you have to conclude your letter. So now we have addressed all the bullet points, we have written the reason of writing the letter, and we have used appropriate tone which is informal in nature because we are writing to a friend, and ultimately we have adhered to the word limit which is 150 words. So all in all, there were, if you remember, there were 4 factors under the task achievement, and we have fulfilled each one of them, which helps us in scoring almost full in this particular parameter which holds a weightage of 25%. So this is how you address a particular letter when it comes to task achievement. Now there is a bonus for you, and what is that? While we are addressing the tasks at hand, you must have noticed we have involuntarily created a structure for our own letter. And how did we do that? So we start the letter with dear, right? Then we come to the first paragraph, which is actually the first bullet point. So you write a paragraph here, which is your first bullet point, right? Then comes your second paragraph, which is your second bullet point. And then you start your third paragraph, which is catering to your third bullet point. This is how you structure your letter, and in the end you conclude your letter by ending it with the best wishes part when it comes to your informal letter. So I hope you can understand that each of the bullet point comes to be made as a paragraph, and this is how the structure is made. I hope this will help you in scoring good in task achievement. Keep practicing and keep seeing our lectures to know more about each and every parameter. Thank you so much.